against the market, and that's what we care about, right?
Yeah.
So that's the challenging thing for us, and part of like just to kind of go full circle with your question is how are we evaluating? This is very fucking complicated, Matt. Like trying to,
Super.
you
I mean,
know,
it's behavioral analysis. Like literally, like it's random stats over a series of time. Because, like you said, I mean, like who cares about literally the very next trade? There's like that famous MIT. I think it's MIT talking about a coin flip of like expectancy. It's like if you flip a coin and you're gonna make $56 or you're gonna lose $45, what do you do for the very next time? And he says like you should not flip the coin because there's no long run like data here, right? Like it's just a true 50-50. What or it's technically less, whatever it is, right? And then like, but you throw in like a series of time and you should absolutely take that because you're going to make more money in the long run. But right now it doesn't matter. Anyways, all that to be said, it's very interesting to like try and piece together all of these different things that are ever evolving, ever changing. Also, like you're even having to account for people that are like brand new to trading, right? And trying to figure it out. And then like they do start to figure it out and it's like, is this real or is this like
yeah,
just like
exactly. And
some
we,
lucky sort of run, right?
yeah, and I remember when I was in college, we did this. It was this, probability class, and your users have probably done this. And the guy was like, "All right, everybody get a coin. We're gonna flip it 20 times, and you're gonna write. You're gonna have two columns. You're gonna flip it 20 times. And you're gonna write the actual heads, tails, heads, tails. The other column, you're just gonna make it up: heads, tails, heads, tails, heads, tails, and make whichever column which. I want it to be random which column is which, and I'm gonna go around the room, and every single person he went around the room to, he could tell which one was the actual flips versus which ones they just wrote down heads, tails, heads, tails. Like because the reason for that is when you actually flip a coin a small number of times, almost every time you're gonna get heads, 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 heads. Like you're gonna get random like long stretches. But when you're writing it down like you think it is, like you think it would be, you write like heads, heads, tails, tails, heads, tails, heads, tails. The real world's not like that. Like the standard deviations, like you could out of those 20 flips, you could flip 17 heads. I mean, it's
Right.
not likely, but over time it's going to be 50-50 as long as
Exactly.
it's a fair coin,
We
right?
talk about this a lot on the stream.
Okay.
A lot. Like we talk about it a lot because like people just have this concept of like I win 70% of the times, and it's like yeah, but the 30% of your losing or whatever that number is, right? Could happen for like a lot of time in a row, like a stupid amount of time in a row, right? But then you zoom out way far, and it's like it ended up being 30% or whatever. But you got to live to fight another day, live to trade another day, whatever, throughout those stretches. Even as
Hey,
silly as it is, the little giveaway bot, it hit 4 stop losses in a row a week ago, right? It's 30%, right? Like it should be
exactly. That's the point. To go one step further, I tell people all the time, if you risk 100% of your risk capital on any trade, you can have a 99% win rate. You're still gonna go bust because the
it's inevitable. It's literally
yeah.
inevitable, right?
And so we see that, Matt, so often in prop is people are just always levered up. And I say, man, it's not your system. You're actually a really good trader, but you can't stop blowing accounts because you're sized too big. Eventually, you're going to blow your account because even 70-30, 80-20, 90-10, you're going to go on a bad run. That doesn't mean that. I want people to be outcome independent. I don't give a shit about the next trade. I give a shit about the next series of trades. So you take the trade, and too many people are like, if win, then good trade. If lose, bad trade. It's like no, it's like no, please no, don't say that. Like
Right.
all you're trying to do, and like I play a lot of golf, so I'm like, all right, when you get up to a 4-footer. I try to like not worry about if the ball goes in the hole. That sounds so cliche, but you just try to like make a good
Close.
stroke at it.
Right,
And then
right.
over time, I'm just going to make a lot more of them than I'm sitting there worried about the outcome of this putt. Outcome independence is when you've really gotten it as a trader.
I love that. I also loved what you said about us versus y'all. I think that's like such a problem right now in the space as a whole, just from like my point of view. Let's see. I started in props in 2018 or December of 2018, January 2019. I can never remember if it was the last week of December or the first week of January. But 2018, 2019 with Top Step. And so like I've been around for quite a while, I would say, like as far as like seeing the adaptions and stuff like that. And it's really shifted into like a us versus y'all mentality of like, how much can I rinse blank for, right? Like, how much can I rinse Apex for? How much can I rinse TPT for? What's my RR on like rinsing essentially? And to be fair, I think there's a lot of there are companies that have enabled that, right? Like to be like that's part of the problem. There's a lot of companies that have enabled that thought process and have failed to truly like deliver a very good like experience that is a partnered experience. But I love hearing that like y'all are like at least actively thinking about like it should be us partnered together tackling the markets, not like we're making this impossible and you're trying to beat us in order for like you to make money and be better than everyone else while being better than the company. Like the individual trader has to be better than everybody else in order to pass the rules and be better than the company in order to make any form of money. And like it's technically not really how it should be in my opinion. It should really be like
we call it like I always do this with my hands on these things. It's like we want to make the rules the best we can and get the best experience for the trader, but it has to be sustainable for the firm. Right. So I think that traders what and I agree. Do 2 evals, then you had to go into a scaling plan, and you took one payout every 90 days, and it was terrible. And as competition has come, it's gotten better for the trader. Now the thing is, if it gets too good for the trader, then we get this like what it's become, Matt, is entitlement. I think this guy writing me today going, he was essentially, it would have been like me going into a the general manager of my professional hockey team and being like, I've been playing hockey for 30 years. I know I haven't scored a goal in 30 games and you're paying me a lot of money, but you can't fire me. You can't release me because I've been playing hockey for 30 years.
Right.
And I sit first class on the team trips. I have my own room. I'm eating the most food of anybody, but you still can't fire me because like I've been playing hockey for 30 years. So like that was essentially the conversation the guy wanted me to have with him, and I didn't take the bait. But it's just unfortunate that firms, ourselves included, have made hiccups, right? So I don't want to say that it's all on the trader, but like we've almost like created these monsters in
100%, yeah,
in the competition game as the industry has grown, and there's been this fierce competition over getting these traders in, but it's created this like it's hard for me to put my finger on how people even have those conversations and then send them to TPT saying you can't. How can you do this to me? You need to tell me what rule I broke, and my response is always, you didn't break a rule. It's just a performance thing. Like we have to win together. Yeah, I'm not calling you a cheater or anything like that because you didn't. You played within the rules. It's not working out, and we have to get back to that. We have to get back to you must perform like it's any business, and if you don't, then we may need to part ways, and that's okay too. No harm. There's other firms out there that'll gladly take you with open arms, and that's really what we're trying to get to, because we need the entire industry needs to move towards that, and needs to move away from entitlement and more towards performance.
It's also interesting. I mean, like you're talking about like the entitlement side. Like, one second, Messiah, you need to claim your prize. I ran a silent giveaway just now because we were talking, but you got to claim your prize at app.tvm.gg/claim in the next 15 seconds, or I'm redrawing. Chat, there's going to be giveaways happening literally all my session long. The next 45 minutes is going to be constant, so just keep an eye out. That being said, what I was going to say was it's very interesting because like the sense of entitlement comes from like things being, I don't know, the competition, whatever you want to call it. But like when you think about trading as a whole, it is always historically been one of the like most cutthroat industries. Like
yeah, it's so funny.
And like I mean, I never experienced that. I never lived it technically, but like you hear the stories about it, right? Like the stories from the floor dudes back in the day of dudes blowing up, losing their $1 million, their whole life savings in a day or whatever, right? Or like even just like Wall Street dudes who are up for 12 hours straight and then like no bathroom breaks and then another 12 hours right after it. And like, like all these like, just it's super cutthroat. And then all of a sudden you introduce online prop firms and it's like the most cheap, easiest way to get exposure into the markets that has ever been a thing, which is sick and awesome for people. And it's amazing. And then it's like, let's forget about the entire cutthroat side of this industry and how intense and how hardcore it is, and like force people, like now all of a sudden they just get like, you know, they think it's all like they deserve everything, right? When it's like the actuality is kind of hardcore.
And and it's not that, again, I'm not saying that it's not all their fault. Let me close my door real quick, man.
No, you're good. Hey, Cassia 9021. You got to do the giveaway. You got 30 seconds. I will call out the next one by name, or we're just gonna do a complete redraw. All right.
Yeah, cut me off whenever you want to do these things.
Yeah, well, I don't care enough about. I mean, the giveaways are fun, but the conversation's why they're here. Also, chat, you need to be pressing the thumbs up button. We need to get lit. We need to get to 420 thumbs up.
So I forget what I was saying, but like the firms have had a piece of this, and what you're seeing, or sorry, I should say the firms play a role in this. And again, I'm not saying TPT is definitely, like I said, had our hiccups, but I think what you're seeing across the industry, and your users will probably say this.
Stop loss just got hit. Sorry, Ben Trades NQ. I literally just saw you in the chat. You're the one dude that I know is here, and he just got stopped out. We'll redraw here. GG's Charmin Trading. Charmin Trading. Go to app.tbm.gg/claim. Follow the instructions on the screen. All right, keep going. Sorry.
No, I was saying that
I tried everything: coffee, Pomodoro, and binaural beats, but nothing stuck.
More and more people have had that like me against the prop firm mentality. Then the prop firms have to do something, because it's like, that spreads like wildfire. Then it becomes you're seeing like kind of, I would say the cliche, the pendulum swings one way and then it swings back the other way, right?
Right.
And then the reality is it should probably be somewhere in the middle, where it shouldn't be so great for the traders, and it shouldn't be like the firms don't pay anybody and block every withdrawal and end up, in court and all these things. Like, that's stupid too. But I think you see across the industry that the firms are getting a bit tighter.
Yeah. What's your take on industry as a whole and where we're going? One thing before you answer that, one thing I will say that I really enjoy about y'all, it's like a blessing and a curse having all of these different options. Like, there's so many different firms out there right now. There's also so many different accounts at every single firm that, like, when I go to y'all's page and I just see that the only difference is like the account size. I don't know if that's changing ever, but I personally love it. Like, I love it because it just takes out like all of this like decision fatigue, literally, like analysis paralysis, decision fatigue, whatever you want to call it.
The decision fatigue. It's like, and I always say TPT is not for everybody. You may, like, if you want a sustainable firm, they're going to do things well, and they're going to do things that, hey, I might want better rules. Like, we don't have the best rules, period. Like, you can go find end of day drawdown everywhere. But you might have to wait 90 days to get paid, or 60 days, or 30 days, or 15 days, whatever. I'm not saying one is better or worse, but like TPT, some people love us, and some people would prefer to go to, Top Step or Tradeify or Lucid or one of those, and that's cool too. We don't try to be everything for everybody. With that said, we are experimenting with maybe a second account type that's been, but it'll never. I shouldn't say ever, but as long as I'm running the ship, there'll never be like 4 different options with 6 different account sizes. Like, in fact, I don't even like the fact that we have 5 account sizes.
Yeah. I mean, it's still a lot, right? Like,
yeah, exactly. Like, I'm always pushing the guys, hey, let's go to 3, or let's just go to 2, because mostly, just for your reference, like, people take the 50K or the 150. Like, they're by far the most like used accounts at TPT, by far.
Yeah. Yeah. The 50K is not shocking to me. I feel like that's pretty standard across the board. Like, people want either the biggest size possible, or like they meet in the middle at the 50K a lot of times.
Yeah.
GG cynical 1446. I think that's how you spell. I don't know. I'm looking at that word now.
Мэргэжлийн харилцаагч хадлаа яриулж байгаа. Өөр харилцаанд орлоо. Энэ харилцаанд өнөөдөр хамгийн доотлын цэг дээр хүрсэн. Хамгийн доотлын дээр болсон дэшээ гэж орсон байгаа. Хэрэг харуул өнөөдөр арилжаа нэгдсэн хамгийн доотлолт энд хүрсэн 3186 өглөөний байдлаар ингэж хүрсэн бол зах зээл нэгдээд жоохон доошо буусан. Тэгэхээр сая тэрэн дээр хөрөнгөт нь бид дахиад бутаа дээшлэх болов гэсэн дээр арилжаа ороод 2 контрактаар тийшээ явж байна. Тэгээд энэ болохоор яадаг аккаунт болохоор нэг тийм хүчтэй биш, нэг тийм бас нэг шуналтайхан шиг биш. Зүгээр л нэг типик аваад гарыг гэсэн бодолтой байна. Яг стоп лосс болдог. Гэхдээ нөгөө стоп лосс хүрэхээс өмнө ингээд дээшилж яагаад нэлийн их надад профит өгч байгаа, ташааг өгч байгаад гарчих юм бол би трейлинг drawdown гэдэг аккаунт нөгөө дэлбэр хавилтаа. Хэдий би ашигтай арилжаа гэсэн ч гэсэн тийм аккаунтууд энэ нөгөө prop firm аккаунт болохоор бүгдээрээ тийм байдаг шүү. Жихэн мөнгөний аккаунт ч болохоор л доо. Жихэн мөнгөний аккаунт бол ашигтай арилжаа мөнгө аваад байсан шүү дээ. Тэгээд хэд юм олж ирсэн алдчихсан ч гэсэн тийм тийм бага. Тэгээ одоо миний үзэж байгаа YouTube-ийн YouTube-ч маань TBM гэдэг Trade by Matt гэдэг бас нэг арилжаалагчтай James гэдэг хүн бол л доо ярьж байна. Live-аар Nasdaq дээр YouTube-ээр орой болгон Нью-Йоркийн бирж нэгдгээр лайв хийдэг хүн байгаа. Би бол байн хийж чадахгүй байгаа. Ажил гэдэг явждаг болохоор саяхан хэд хоног 5-7 хоног сая Нью-Йорк Осакыг арилж байгаа явж байгаа. За би стоп лосс шинжтэй болоод ирлээ те. Тэгээд доош явж байгаа. Яг энэ арилжаа болохоор миний хувийн A+ setup-тай арилжаа бол биш. Яг гэвэл доошо онж байгаа зах зээл дээр би доош хатагдаад тэр стоп лосс цоглоо. $710 цоглоо. Тэгээд баталчихсан. Дүн. Окей л нэг тийм юу гарч ирэх гэж байна. Юу лээ? Мараш байлгаа ажилтаа. Байлгаа ажиллах гарна. Гарна штэ. Яа ялчаач. Пласс бол зүгээр л гэдэг. Яг миний стоп лосс цохоод гарсан юм шүү дээ. За энэ дээрээс би хизээ аккаунт дэлбэрэх гэдгийг хянах боломжтой. Аккаунт баланс $49,000. Нэг арилжааг $1,000 алтлаа гэж энэ бол том байхгүй. Ингээд арилжаад болсон гэсэн. Auto liquidity balance. Яг миний стоп лосс цохол гарсан юм шиг байна харж байна. Тэгэхээр чүд доош байсан бол цохихгүй байсан байна. Тэнд яг нэг тикер oh my god яг нэг тикер. Нэг тик. 0.25 оноо. 0.25 оноо. 0.25 оноо. Арилжаанаас хөгдөд гарсан байдаг юм аа.
Way too big, right? So I would say it's like a chicken or the egg thing. People say, well, just because I trade long doesn't mean that I have a good strategy. I said, at least you give yourself a chance though, because you will not get taken out in the noise if you can hold a trade for 45 minutes. If you've held a trade for 45 minutes and prop, that means you're trading small enough to withstand the market noise. Because otherwise you wouldn't be able to be in the trade for 45 minutes because it would have already wiped you out. Right?
Right.
And I'm not saying 45 minutes is just an arbitrary number. I'm just saying that when I go in and I see people that are trading, you know, micro scalping with huge size, the risk of ruin is 100%.
Yeah.
I mean, it just is because on that time frame, Virtu, Citadel, Jump, Jane Street, they own those time frames. You're not beating those guys.
Yeah, it's
You're
incredibly
just-
efficient for them.
yeah, they're eating our lunch when you're trying to. They're taking TPT's account from micro scalpers and Pro Plus and putting it into their account. So I don't want to send any more money to Jane Street.
Right.
Right? I sent them enough already.
Well, and like you talk about noise. I mean, I'm looking at the market here. It's like we've been in a 60-point slide every 5 minutes, right? And it's like that at the end of the day. Is it actionable? Technically. Is it noise? Absolutely. Like,
Yes.
we're exactly where we started the day, right? Like, so,
Yeah.
okay, so trade less size to be able to hold through noise, maybe 45 minutes or something like that. That's a great, like,
Yeah.
little, like, nugget, right, of advice there. What else? Anything else?
I mean, it always comes back to that and only that. Like, less size and less often.
Yeah.
Right?
What would you define as less often? I don't
Yeah,
even
I
know
mean-
if there's like I don't know people's stats. I guess there's probably always someone firing 200 trades out there, right?
200. We have people trading 4,000 round turns a day, like on the micro. And I know that's like those are inflated. That's inflated, you know. So like that would be like trading 400 round turns a day in the mini. It's just too much.
That's a lot. Yeah.
Yeah.
that's a lot. Holy cow.
So again, and Matt, I'll say this, and you know this, but your audience should know this. You can be successful, and I might have to switch my camera. My camera might have just went out.
Oh, that's okay. Yeah, it probably got a little hot.
I don't know. I never did that before, but let me switch it. This one's not as good, but it'll do.
That's fine. Oh, a stop loss got hit for Ikmal Hakimi. Sorry, dude. Next time.
So well, I was just talking about I forget what I was talking about. We were talking
Yeah, round trip trades.
Oh yeah, so you probably know this, but when you're trading in, like, let's go back to it's just some basics of the market of technology. There's generally like 6 order management systems, risk management systems there's more than that, but that's the gold standard. There's CQG, Rhythmic, you know these, TT, CTS, Teton, which is like Sierra's new one, right? So these systems were never made for this industry, okay?
Right.
These systems were made for you to go try out NinjaTrader or go try out CQG Desktop or CQG Mobile. So the way the order management systems and risk management systems work, they've gotten a ton better and they're continuing to get better. But I'll say is it's always a best guess when you're executing trades. And why am I saying that? It goes back to exactly what I'm talking about here is, generally speaking, trades less than like a minute, when you're in and out all the time, your performance is going to look decent or pretty good in simulation. You go to live, you're going to get your ass handed to you, right? If you're relying on latency and fills and stuff like that, then we see it over and over and over again, Matt, that those don't translate very well to the market. So you give me a guy that's trading, four kind of like one central idea and 4 trades a day, and they're lasting a couple minutes. I'll take that guy, even if it's a couple minutes. I'll take that guy any day over a guy that's, full porting the open for 4 seconds.
Right.
Because it's just not going to translate to live. It's just not. You're not full porting 15 micro 14 mini Nasdaqs at the open and expecting it like to work in the live market. And people do that because we've gotten rid of a lot of them, but it's just it goes back to your point about me against TPT. It's
Right.
like they know that's not going to work live in the market. And you know how I know they know it's not going to work in the live market? They don't do it when I send them to Pro Plus.
Right.
Because they know it's not going to work.
Right. Yeah, they change everything, right? Like,
Yeah. So there you go. I mean, I just think that if you the best way to explain this is everybody, if you have an account at TPT, go to your scorecard, take away your Pro Plus accounts and show me your expectancy in Test and Pro. And the longer you hold trades, the more likely when you take those away and just put your Pro Plus accounts up there, that the expectancy will still be the same. What we don't want to see is expectancies that diverge, where you got like a negative expectancy in Pro Plus, but in Pro and Test you're killing it, because that tells me that there's something going on with the way you trade, and that's usually something to do with like latency or something like that.
Thickness
right?
of the books or whatever. Okay. I've got one question. I think it would actually be really. I don't know what time you need to leave. So, by the way, just like whenever you need to leave, let me know. But
I
I'm
know
here
Arthur
till 10.
sent me a message. I know. No, I don't have to. I got at least 15 more minutes.
Okay. I think one thing that a lot of people, and this is hopefully not a hot seat question. I'm really trying not to do that. But a lot of people have talked about the, like when they're trade copying, and I'm sure you get this question all the time, but like if they're trade copying, they click, instead of clicking like exit and flatten all or whatever, they instead like hit the opposite. So if I'm, net long, they hit like a sell button, and like something happens, and like, they have like one account that is not the same as the others for like 3 seconds or 10 seconds or whatever, right? And then that.
Well, that wouldn't be the case. If it wouldn't be 3. So there is
not 3 seconds, but like a minute, say a minute or 10 seconds for them to like realize, 15 seconds. I don't know what the threshold is.
Yeah.
Takes them a second to realize what's going on, right? I'm doing a terrible job of explaining this.
I know what you're asking. I have a really good answer for you, but if you can finish if you want.
Yeah, basically to me, it's like, it's wash trading. It's hedging yourself essentially. And so I think a lot of people have a hard time with it because it, ruins an account. That being said, in live markets, it's not allowed to be net long NASDAQ and net short NASDAQ in the same account, right? Or by the same entity, right? So I think that's just like what people are trying to figure out is like, where's the threshold? Is there a threshold? Where's the threshold? Why does it even exist? Because a lot of people, what I've learned is a lot of people come straight in through prop land nowadays, and they've never even never traded, never looked into like live account rules, right? Or personal account rules. And so they have no basis or background of like what some of these, why these things are in place, what they mean, things like that. So just like a little history lesson there might be helpful.
Yeah, no, this is great, and I love educating because I've been in the CME offices over this, and it's not fun. So I like to educate.
Yeah, this is great.
On this, so first thing I'll say, you said like coming in new. CME doesn't care if you're new or old. Ignorance is not an excuse for them. To us. So when they come at me and I tell them, hey guys, these guys didn't know. And they're like, well, you should have taught them, right? They're trading on your accounts.
Right.
You need to teach them.
Right.
And so,
but even that, I think a lot of people think it's their own personal account that is trading through TPT when it is a child account, right? Like
it's an omnibus account. It's a sub account of our main account. So what the CME sees is Take Profit Trader has this guy, and you're just a number, right? Matt, you're just a number, and it says this account, this number 12345 has, they call it like disruptive practices, or like, he doesn't have a bona fide position. You mentioned wash trading. That's rule 534 in the CME handbook, which we have on our website because we have to.
My work is easy because I use ClickUp. Here's how I keep track of all my tasks. I start by brain dumping everything I need to get done in a list view. Next, I set a priority and a due date to keep things on track. I create custom statuses to organize my progress exactly how I want it. I like to add the action items field so AI can show me the next steps. I add my teammates as watchers so they're in the loop. ClickUp makes work easy, from personal projects to running.
So he's for lack of better word.
За тэгэхээр шүү дээ манайхаа. Сонирхолтой жоох юм хийж үзгөө. Нэг арилжаанд орсон. 62 аккаунтаар 20 оноо 2 аккаунтаар 20 нийлдээ баг 40 онооны харилцагтай арилжааг хийсэн. Тэгээ буцаагаад 7 8 оны харилцаад хасах 30 онооны алдагдaltaй 20 онооны алдагдaltaй харилцаатай одоо явж байна. Нийт өнөөдөр 2 харилцаа хийсэн. 2026 оны 8 сарын 17-ны өдрөө. Тэгээд жоохон сонирхолтой байдлын үүднээс 3 дахьыг нь зүгээр AI авах гэж бодлоо. Манай AI хасаа. Гэж бодлоо. Тэгэхээр яах хэрэгтэй вэ? Tool дарлаа. Ой. Документ хааж авч. Snipping tool. Ингээд. Ой. Бачаар AI руу яаж оруулах гэдэг байна. Асууж үзээд сүүлийн 3 дахь харилцаа хийгээд тэг өнөөдөртөө өндөрлөе гэж бодож байна. Snipping tool нь зүгсэн байна. What should I do? Sell or buy? Gosh, энэ 1 минутын кэндлийг харж агаад бол гинэ. Тэгээ 1900 илүү орох юм бол 80 жимж дараагийн 1 минутын кэндлийг хар гинэ. Тэгээ 1 минутын кэндлийг харж байгаа хаана хаагснаа гэж шалтгаалаад болно гинэ. Дараагийн 1 минутын кэндл эрдээр хаагдсан. Голын фейлер арах юм байна. Яг ч фейлж орж. Байлж орч гэдэг юм л та гэхдээ. Шинэ бай үүсгэж дэше гарах юм бол би стоп лосс гарна. Стоп лосс өгөх нэг арга юм байна л та. Өө би яриагаа бичихгүйсэн юм. Oh my god. Anyway, anyhow. Чав. Маргааш уулзцгаая. Маргааш орой. Орой болго ярилцах юм.